My name's Colin Turkington, I race for WSR.
So we are here at Brands Hatch and it's very hot.
It feels like we've changed country from the tropics of Donington to the sunny beaches of Barbados.
I think personally Brands Hatch is one of my favourite circuits.
Until you walk the circuit, you don't realise quite how much drop off there is.
It's an intense place. It's only 1.2 miles. You always feel like the whole grid is on top of each other.
There's no flat bits. Even the straights are hilly, bumpy and curvy. I'm Tom Chilton, I'm a professional racing driver here at Team Bristol Street Motors. We're currently at Brands Hatch for round 2 of the BTCC. So I started off in cars, not karting, when I was 13 years old. I then made it into the British Touring Cars 2 weeks after turning 17 years old, and actually here at Brands Hatch GP, finished third in my first ever British Touring Car race, and then I've been here ever since, and that was back in 2002. Every driver except me in Turkington's changed in this championship.
This is my 20th season in BTCC. My first year was 2002. Missed a few in the middle. Somehow I have went from being the rising star to the elder statesman, but I don't mind that. What keeps me coming back is it's definitely the racing. You know, from all the sort of different formats and configurations of car I've driven, the racing has always been the best.
I swear it's like the top 3 championship in the world for how hard it is. You know, I could go in anything else and it's relatively easy. You know, we don't have any power-assisted brakes or traction control or ABS, it's all driver. This is genuinely hard, and that's what makes you come back every time trying to get on the top step. It is really, really hard. So when you can be at the front, it is the most rewarding and best feeling in the world.
Compared to when I started, now the cars are a lot heavier, but they're also a lot faster.
We've now got more power out the engines, we've now got bigger tyres, we've got bigger brakes, we've now got 60 horsepower of hybrid.
You get to places like this, Brands Hatch, Indy, you really feel that. You know, you're attacking as much speed as you can into Paddock Hill, and it really feels fast.
Lots has changed over the years, but I genuinely believe this is the most exciting year yet on paper.
We really don't quite know what we're in for. This is the first weekend where we have the hybrid balance of performance in place. Because I left Donington in 4th position, I will have 7 seconds to use over the 1 lap in qualifying. It's only going to get tougher from here on in.
I guess the big change this year was the format for qualifying. So they split the grid in 2. You go out for 10 minutes and the top 6 go forward to the next stage. 8 have been thrown in the skip. And that's their day over. They all go again, another 10 minutes, and then it gets whittled down to the quick 6. And then they go again for a shootout, see who gets pole. It puts pressure on the drivers, which is a good thing. Because if you get it wrong, you know, you've got 10 minutes to get into the top 12. That's no mean feat. If you have a problem, it puts the team under pressure, so you can end up, with all the best intentions, be fastest in free practice 1, and then you have a little problem, that's it, gone.
So a reminder, 10 minutes, and some cars may well elect to come in and do a tyre cross. Right, Colin Turkington is about to go across the timing line and offer up the only proper lap thus far, really, 48.599. Nobody else has done a time. Colin Turkington's next lap a little bit slower, although there are personal improvements for the likes of Sutton and Camish and Sam Osborne.
He needs to build anyway because the brakes were fresh on, so he might take every other lap off a little bit just to get them fully in.
This is looking decent enough, isn't it, for Ronan Pearson? Let's see where it's going to put him. And a 48.7 does indeed put Ronan Pearson second, and 2 minutes and 40 on the clock. We're not done yet. To Ronan Pearson, briefly fastest. Colin Turkington back to the top.
The next lap will be your last.
We're not getting improvements in the sectors. The checkered flag is out, so this is the final opportunity, and I think the tyres have peaked.
We're P5 and nobody's actually going quicker.
Taylor Smith needs to pump one in.
No improvement for Taylor Smith, so that protects Ash Sutton 6th in the times. Much mopping of brow.
Well done, Cole. Great job through to Q2. Well done, mate.
Okay, mate, our brakes and everything, because we have got another set of brakes we could change for the next session.
Now we have the green flag to let the second group out.
Okay, we'll go to 6 on the left-hand side only.
That balance is really good. He's happy with the balance. The only thing is a little bit of druid. But yeah, I'm going to leave that.
Jake Hill and Adam Morgan in the two BMWs set the first meaningful times.
Tom Ingram has gone third ahead of Dan Rowbottom as the times from the front-wheel drive crew now start to be put into the mix.
You're happy to leave the same brakes, yeah?
Well, they are. They're struggling though.
Still, it's only Q2.
Yeah.
So Adam Morgan is the fastest thus far, and Aidan Moffat is down in that first sector.
Yeah, he's not going to do it on this lap.
So Adam Morgan it is who is the fastest.
Not much difference.
You want to just show him, just to give him peace of mind?
Put our lap time on there, you would have come P2. So the only person over those 2 sessions that was quicker than us was Morgan.
So the car's ready to be pulled back out of that herringbone formation onto the fast lane. That happens now as the klaxon sounds in the pit lane. Well, right now, out there and doing times are the BMWs, of course. Hill, Morgan, Turkington is the order. Well, Jake Hill is second fastest to Colin Turkington, and the only front-wheel drive time we've had is that of Josh Cook, and it's a slowish one, a start-up lap of 55.6. With now half the session to go, attention will turn not so much to the top, but to the bottom to see who's going to get knocked out. And at the moment, we're still waiting on times from Rowbottom, Chilton, Pearson, Huff and Watson.
We are currently P4.
Ash Sutton goes second. Good time, 48.0. Very good time. Such a quick session though, only 3 minutes left on the clock.
It's very tight out there. A 48.02 would put you P2.
And the flag is out. Well, Josh Cook is currently the fastest, and that would put him into Q3 for the first time this year. Adam Morgan is second, and that would put him into Q3 for the first time this year.
Okay, mega well done, mate. That's P4, we finished there. Sutton has also made it through, but Ingram and Hill are both out.
When it doesn't go well in motorsport, it's tough, but I think it's very important to analyse why that happened and then appreciate those reasons and then work hard to stop that from happening again.
So we say just the front end that didn't have the grip?
Yeah, you said go second flying, so I worked it all out to go flat out second flying with max and hybrid up here and everything. I went to go brake at Druids and it just wanted to lock up, there was like nothing there at all. I think I should have just done more slow laps before I pushed.
I think by the time you've gone into, 2 or 3 laps into the tyre, I think you're never going to get the best out of it, although you were putting better sectors together.
And this is the final part of qualifying then, so this will determine the first 3 rows. Effectively the rest of the grid, barring any penalties, are decided, but this will sort out the positions for the top 6 on the grid.
You've made a positive change, Dan.
I hope so. We've gone quicker at least.
So Colin Turkington then, and this ought to be a lap that puts him at the top of the times over his teammate Adam Morgan. This is Dan Camish who needs to fight back. He's on the hybrid coming up to the line, he's run out of it now. He improved in the first sector, and as he comes to the line, he goes up to 3rd quickest. Turkington, Morgan, Camish the order.
3 minutes to go, currently P1.
We have got just over 2 minutes of the session to go, and Colin Turkington and Adam Morgan lock out at the moment, the front of the grid.
It's going to be one more lap, isn't there?
Yep.
Everyone's going to have one more lap.
And all of a sudden, not a single improvement. Look at that timing tag, it's all yellow, which suggests that the tyres have done their best.
Copy that. If you think that's all it's got, then save the tyres. Yep, save the tyres.
So I think that will be the position. So I think Turkington will have the pole.
For the 28th time in his career.
Well done, guys. Well done, boys. Good job, everyone. Well done, boys.
Hopes for the weekend, you always aim for the podium. Going into a weekend, you can never be overconfident, or you never quite know where your relative pace is going to be that weekend, but you just got to keep scoring points. It's a long old way until we come back to Brands Hatch in October, so I think my aims for the season now Our aims for each race weekend shift a bit towards just trying to, or wanting to enjoy it. You know, I think, you know, we got to sort of savor these moments, and when things are flowing a bit easier, the results tend to come as well. So we'll aim for the podium and see where we get to.
Qualifying went a little bit like that, so chuffed a bit, to be honest. I think that's my second best ever quali, so over the moon. You know, I was quietly confident coming into this weekend with our championship position and the amount of hybrid we're going to have, that we're going to be somewhere near the front, and to put it on P2, really good chance tomorrow, so can't wait to get going.
Just got out of qualifying, not the result I'd want, but improved on my pace quite a bit from free practice 2, so feel proper racy for tomorrow. And you know, in British touring car, you know, you can make up a lot of grid positions in one race. So still excited for tomorrow, even though it wasn't the qualifying I'd have liked for. But it's so tight round here, being such a short circuit. And excited to be headed off to Crazy Karts, where I've got a chance to get big points.
Nick Halstead is a very sharp businessman. He understands the value of the off-track part of motor racing. He loves his motorsport. He's a great enthusiast. He won't mind me saying this. He's not the best racing driver in the world, but he knows that, and that's not his goal. His goal is to enjoy the motorsport, get stuck in, try and make a difference with teams that he goes to join, trying to make a difference for the championship, to bring the promotion along. And he loves it. He loves it. And that's great.
My name is Nick Halstead, and I'm the racing driver for Team Bristol Street Motors. So I didn't do karting, I did bikes. So when I was 11, almost professional level motocross and enduro racing, but didn't have the budget to do cars. So when I then did have the budget, which a little later in life, having my background of being a tech entrepreneur, got the bug again for motorsport, had the time and money to do it, and 8 years later, from doing Ginettas right at the beginning, now in second year of British touring car. It's probably 18, 19 years ago, started a business to do with initially web technology, discovered Twitter really early. I've got the handle NIK because I was one of the very first people to start using Twitter, and realised it could be used for business. You could basically go on Twitter and post a tweet about a news story, and we'd count the news story, and we thought, well, wouldn't it be better if there was a button that people could vote on, saying this news story or whatever is shareable. And so we then became the retweet button, and it ended up on something like 500,000 websites had my button on it, and we were billions and billions of page impressions, and then that got sold to Twitter. It's very hard in the tech world to get on the map, so that's without question made the rest of my career a lot easier. So Crazy Karts, it all started because I had a couple of the smaller Crazy Karts at home for my children, and we used to zoom around on those together, and I just literally had a mad idea. Could we persuade a couple of the circuits to let us run just a silly few laps? And it was driven by a desire of just getting the drivers in front of the camera. Today, social media is driven by personalities, and we see the cars, and everyone knows the drivers behind the cars, but we don't as much see them doing other things. And it was like, well, if we can create something, different bits of content, and Crazy Karts was the one that's really worked, was get them on a crazy car, you actually get to see them, get to see the personalities, and just have a lot of fun. The people at Razor have been massively supportive, and then so it was like, right, how do we make this even bigger? So that was then take them on as a main sponsor. We are now at the level where it's on the official program, and again, that's just my general way that I approach things. If it can be expanded and improved, then that's what I'll do.
podium track position is Adam, Jake and then Colin. All three cars coming in for four-wheel pit stop. Pit stop practice is something we do every sort of Sunday morning before an event. It's just getting the crews ready for any sort of eventuality. So if a car does come in with a problem, it's not a surprise to them. And yeah, they can deal with it calmly and more importantly make sure the pit stop is legal. We always hope we never have to do a pit stop in a race, but I'd like to think we're well prepared if we have to. You never know when you're going to need to do it, so it's always best to be prepared. So my name's Carl and I'm team manager at West Surrey Racing. So I started my career in motorsport as a number 3 mechanic. I joined them for a week's work experience, asked if I could come back and volunteer and do 1 day a week, and then eventually got the role of assistant team manager, which turned into the team manager role that I'm doing now.
So I'm Justina Williams, I'm the team owner of Accelerate. So I've started my career as an apprentice industrial electrician, working on a nuclear power station. Ended up working in sales and customer service, and then went on to then have the opportunity to have my own race team, and decided, well, great opportunity, let's give it a go. So that's why we're here today.
So my responsibilities are quite varied. It can involve anything from general organisation, I still do some of the purchasing.
So it's a lot about making sure our team partners are happy, our drivers are happy, and their sponsors and their guests, and working with the whole of the team for engineering, what we're doing with engine development, what we're doing commercially.
We're looking at the damage after the weekend, ordering the new parts, looking after our suppliers, sponsors.
And it's really looking for the future and the focus for the team and what we want to achieve next. Budgets have increased over the years, so my job's now harder, having to try and find more money and gain more budget to make sure we can still develop our cars, still develop our engines and be at top of the game.
Being able to go away with the team that you work so hard with and actually get a result or a win on a weekend and being able to jump on the pit wall and celebrate that. I think all of us do it for that moment, if you like, and that's something it will always stick. That's something that we'll always be doing it for. We're all here because we love it. We're all here because we enjoy it, and I don't think you could do it unless it was something you enjoyed.
It is hot out on track, that is for sure, as we look forward then to the first of 3 touring car races here on the all-action Indy circuit and all BMW front row.
You're about 6 inches from the front edge of the box.
You did the job right. I'll leave you with that, mate.
The lights will go out in a moment to get the race underway. Who is going to make the best start out of the BMW drivers? Colin Turkington is away smartly, and already, look, the BMW is getting away as Sutton makes a move on the inside of Cavish and goes through for 3rd.
Sutton got past Cavish.
No problems for Turkington. He launched the car perfectly and he's done a great first lap.
Whereas now Adam Morgan is falling into the clutches, is he not, of Ash Sutton? So this is side by side for 2nd. It's Adam Morgan on the inside, but Sutton's already got the job done.
Okay, Ash has got past Morgan now.
And the fastest lap, Dan Camish, currently in 4th place. And there he is on the inside of Morgan, so make that 3rd place.
With Cook trying to follow him through, they'll be side by side, but Morgan retains the inside and preferable line.
This is Jake Hill's view, and that is Tom Ingram ahead. So the Hill progress has got him up into 9th. Remember, he started 12th. They've got the Cook done it round the outside. Morgan comes across on Watson, contact between the two. Morgan's gone wide, so Watson is through. Rowbottom is through on the inside line as well. Then you got Ingram, then you got Hill, who's fallen away a couple of lengths. Morgan, though, is falling back through the train, isn't he, as Watson again tries to squeeze up the inside, and off go 2 of them. Morgan is 1, and was that Ronan Pearson in the other? Adam's race has not quite come to grief at Druids. He's going to be able to rejoin.
Fortunately, it's a glancing blow, so no huge damage, but it's Pearson that then ends up in the gravel.
Camish has a problem as well. Dan Camish, who was 2nd, has slowed right down.
He's got a puncture on the left front.
Yeah, Camish is punching.
Now that is Tom Chilton getting ahead of Tom Ingram. Remember that Chilton has got much more hybrid available to him, so he sweeps past.
This pace looks really good to everyone else. Keep managing that left rear tyre.
So Colin Turkington leads round 4 of the championship by a whopping 5.7 seconds. He's just building that gap over Josh Cook. Adam Morgan, after his travails earlier on, is way back in 16th place now.
You can use hybrid until the end of the race now. Use it to help manage the left rear tyre, minimise curve use.
Race 1 won by Colin Turkington at Brands Hatch, and in dominant fashion as well. 2nd across the line is going to be Josh Cook, and for 3rd, the best of those on the medium tyre, and of course on the second least amount of laps of hybrid, Ash Sutton, so that's an excellent performance. Colin Turkington just inch perfect.
I don't think the old Colin Turkington ever went away.
You know, you feel like the eyes of the world are sort of on you on race day, and you know, whenever you can pull off a result, it's a great feeling, because you're celebrating with the team and sort of also with your family as well. You know, I'm quite fortunate I've been able to bring my kids up through my life. My career is touring cars, and they've been here from the beginning. So, you know, everybody on the grid wants to win. You know, sure, it would be great to win again, and that's why I'm here. You know, I want to win the championship again, but I don't want to win it just to say that I won it 5 times. You know, otherwise I would have stopped already. You know, it's winning it is just the culmination of all the effort and hard work and sacrifice. You know, that's where you get the pleasure.
Well, I think. Well done, Dad. Cheers, thank you. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it was quite a nerve-wracking race with the left rear tyre, the soft tyre. Saw a few people Kamesh have a puncture, so it was a pretty nerve-wracking race. But actually, Colin looked really comfortable out there. The pace was strong. We managed to get a nice gap and maintain it. So yeah, delighted. On to race 2.
The next award is the Manufacturer Constructors Award for round 4. The winners are BMW, and to represent them, Colin's engineer, Dan Millard. Well done. Congratulations to BMW. And on the top step of the podium for the first time in 2024, first win of the year, Colin Turkington on the top step of the podium.
I thought he drove exceptionally well.
That's like 2019 Colin, isn't it? Yeah. He's try and work together in those initial couple of laps, because I think we're going to be under a lot of pressure.
Definitely.
It's a lifestyle. That's what we always say. If you're moving into touring cars at this level, you're definitely making a life choice, and it will consume a lot of your life, but the rewards are also fantastic as well. We're all trying to win with the resources and the budget that we've got available to us. Everyone's doing everything they can to make sure we go out and win as many races as possible. Without that, you don't bring on new sponsors, you don't bring on new drivers, and eventually there'll come a point where people will stop investing in your team. So that's why it's important to win.
Just an update to the grid, though. Hill is now starting P4, so we have a grid watch soon. Jake's starting P4 now, so if he gets a good start, he could well be behind us, and I imagine he's going to be quite aggressive. Punches are something to bear in mind. Are you all done? All happy?
Happy. I am if you are.
Yeah.
We get set. It's round 5 of the QuikFit British Touring Car Championship. It is 24 laps. Lights go red, lights out quickly. It is go. Good start by Hill. Brilliant start by Turkington, though. And the road opens up ahead of Jake Hill on the outside line as Josh Cook tried to move across and cover off Ash Sutton.
Jake's pushing someone. Yes, up the inside.
Yeah, Cookie.
Hill gets up the inside and goes through. Jake goes second, and Josh got well and truly roughed up there. And while they've been squabbling on the opening lap, so Colin Turkington has got away.
Mate, these initial 2 laps are absolutely perfect.
Rowbottom has lost out to Ingram, who's gone round the outside of Clark Curve. Hyundai ahead of Ford.
Jake Hill has weathered that sort of first and second lap storm, hasn't he? Where the front-wheel drive cars really attack the rear-wheel drive cars.
Jake should be alright now, shouldn't he? He's using hybrid to get away. Right, yeah.
Now, Hill versus Sutton. Just as we said that Jake had weathered the storm, Ash goes around the outside of Paddock. He's got the fastest lap of the race. Hill's late on the brakes up at Druids. They scramble into the corner. Sutton gets run out wide. Jake Hill is still ahead as they come down the hill, but Sutton and Cook are right back with him. Sutton's got the inside against the BMW this time for second place as they head up the hill, and surely this time Ash Sutton's going to go through. Jake Hill sort of turns in and finds the Ford alongside him, so contact between the two. Sutton goes second, and Hill and Cook overlap down the hill for third, but the BMW is ahead when it counts for the apex.
And now side by side, Hill and Cook round the corner. Ingram right behind.
So up the hill on the inside line goes Jake Hill, and there's contact from behind. That may have been Rowbottom.
Robo just punted it off the arse.
pushed out there?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I've ever seen so many cars. Literally, you could throw a blanket over them and changing positions every lap.
Meanwhile, Colin Turkington, serene out front, is 4 seconds clear of Sutton.
Doing a mega job, mate. This pace is really good.
Oh, a lunge down the inside. A bit of a touch, bit of a lock-up, and Ingram is through.
And right there behind them is Tom Chilton. We've got 12 laps to go, less than that now. Rob Huff is behind this queue in 6th place, but he's not yet caught up. That's Jake Hill in the gravel. Jake Hill has gone straight on at Druids into the gravel trap, and that puts the tin hat on a difficult second race.
Oh, Jake. Oh, it's Jake as well.
He's feeling the steering. Wow. The steering's broken. Look at that.
He's doing a steering wheel, look.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know if that was the impact from hitting the wall.
He barely hit the wall though.
Did he?
Yeah. No, he said the steering wheel broke on the way in. So he just broke as much as he could.
Double whammy. Cole's lost his lead and we've lost manufacturer points.
We are racing again as Turkington and Sutton go over the line.
Adam's had a good recovery.
Here they come up towards the line, Morgan on the outside, and they've both got to be mindful that Chilton and Rowbottom are not that far adrift either. Over the line, Morgan is just about ahead as they break the beam, yet got the job done going into the corner.
Wow, Morgan's up to P4.
Yes.
Phenomenal drive.
This is Ingram send on the inside, through he clatters, but he makes the corner.
He doesn't run wide. That was a good pass.
Mikey Doble now has a go on the Hyundai, and that is Ronan Pearson's car. So Ronan has done a good job, hasn't he? From the back of the grid to 9th. Sutton gets into the back of Ingram, helps him along, but look who is behind them. There is going to be a lap to run, and Morgan could just gain another place, couldn't he, if they all tangle ahead of him. We're looking at 2nd, 3rd, 4th as they come to clear ways. Sutton gives Ingram a little tap and dislodges the Hyundai, but Ingram doesn't run out wide and Morgan can't really get up with them. To the checkered flag and a 2nd win of the day. Colin Turkington wins at Brands Hatch. 2nd across the line is going to be Ingram, and it's in a virtual dead heat for 3rd. Sutton takes 3rd by 25 thousandths of a second from Adam Morgan.
You have cracked the code.
Yeah. Hey, that was absolutely brilliant.
The more they fight behind, all the better.
I know. Yeah, well done. Great drive by Adam. Really great drive by Adam.
It's made up for race 1 anyway. Yeah, I don't know, odd. 15th to 4th. It's obviously a mega, really happy. Just figuring out, such a difference in race 1 from the medium tyre to the soft tyre, but I think we can make some improvements for race 3, but overall, P4, very nearly P3. Happy. One more race.
So good.
Jack's had a rough weekend, hasn't he?
Yeah. When you run 3 or 4 cars, like you're always going to have one car doing really well, like another one unfortunately always gets caught up with something. Like
laws of statistics says that someone's going to get caught up in it, and if you've got 3 cars on the grid, yeah.
The issue we had at Brands Race 2, we were sat P10. We'd had a great start and got up to P2, but while we were catching and we were settling in, doing good lap times that were matching the leaders out the front, we then had a steering failure going to Druids. And all the conversation afterwards was if it was going to happen anywhere, Druids was the best place. So there was very little damage to the car. Had it happened the corner before going into paddock, then it could have been, a really, really big crash, which most importantly would Jake be okay, but the car would have unlikely to been out for race 3 had we had that crash. The first time you then speak to him was back in the pits, and then you sit there trying to figure out how you pick yourselves up again, because any kind of issue where you retire from a race that wasn't your doing is always really tough to take, both as the driver and as the race engineer and the team in general.
So I'm not even turning anyone around, they're all just turning in on me. Cook, just keep coming, and you're like... Robo's just nailed me so hard, he just pushed me out of the way. The part of the problem is we're just too slow at the apex because it's just oversteering. Just have a look. really. You look at Colin, he's just been able to drive away. And, you know, all right, there might be a bit, but I refuse to admit that I'm that much worse than him. No, that's what I feel like happens.
Nothing always goes to plan. That is just motorsport. We could nearly write off a car on a Sunday and be expected to rebuild that as a team and have it ready for the next race weekend. That's when the team really comes together and it shows what we can achieve when we get presented with those situations. I never forget seeing the first major accident that we had as a team, thinking how is this all going to go back together, whereas now we've seen enough as a team, it happens, and you see the guys and girls, they're already moving around the garage, they're thinking about what parts do they need. We don't turn into robots, but there's a set procedure now, I think, that just begins to naturally take place whenever something like that happens.
When things go wrong, and sometimes it's out of your control, you can't control what happens on the circuit. And unfortunately in motorsport, that does happen quite a lot. So it is quite frustrating. I feel for the drivers, I feel for the team, because the effort that everyone puts in, I don't think people realise how many hours get put into making this all happen with such short turnarounds as well. Winning is so important because it just validates all the hard work, but also seeing the likes of Ronan come from racing with us in JCWs in the mini challenge when he was one of our development drivers moving into touring cars. That's a real highlight for me, and I feel very proud that the team have been able to achieve that, or the drivers have been able to achieve that with our team. So it just says, look, we're doing it right, we're doing something well, we want to continue to win, and it helps our team partners, you know, they're getting seen on TV, and it helps our driver sponsors. And just the overall thing is keeping everyone happy. If we can win the Drivers' Championship again, fantastic, but also we'd love to win the teams.
I'm with Colin Turkington to make that reverse grid draw. See if we can get in here. Just go low. I went high. You go on high, but you can do anything today. Ronan Pearson will be on pole position for our reverse grid race, which is coming up at 5:15.
Last race of the day, mix of tyres in terms of the medium and the soft, jumbled grid, and you've got a man on pole position that hasn't had a win before. That's Ronan Pearson, who's going to be a man to watch.
No retreat, no surrender. Go for it.
It's round 6 of the Kwikfit British Touring Car Championship. It's 24 laps, and it's go, and a good start made by Aaron Taylor-Smith, who is away like a stab rat to take the lead on the way up towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Ronan Pearson goes for the race lead with a proper send up the inside, and he's done it. Fantastic move.
Wow, where did that come from? That's absolute peach of a manoeuvre.
That's right. There's Adam Morgan going through on the inside to put himself back ahead of Dan Rowbottom. That was a Robo. And Rowbottom is on the soft, Sutton is on the soft, but Morgan is on the medium. So in theory, those Fords should be able to vault ahead. Ronan Pearson is getting away. 1.2 seconds to the good now. This is a really impressive drive early in the race. I'm not saying he's done and dusted, far from it. And a real queue developing behind Adam Morgan there on that harder tyre. Morgan, big lock-up. Sutton, a place gain. That now puts him up into 7th place, Ash Sutton. Ingram to the inside of Doble, through he goes on that soft tyre, another place gain for the champion of 2 years ago, Tom Ingram. Gains a place, although in fairness, Mikey Doble fights back, and has Ingram got a problem? I thought the car was a bit smoky over the line, it is.
It's smoking like a
And then look, is that a puncture?
That's Ingram, that's problems for Ingram.
As well.
And it is a puncture, it is indeed left front. And he's going to limp it to the pit lane, so Tom Ingram, flat tyre, left front. They'll be a bit nervous at Team Bristol Street Motors. Ingram, soft tyre, puncture, race leader. Pearson, soft tyre. And he's got 12 laps to go, 12 laps to nurse maybe. Here, Tom Chilton's podium finish is not guaranteed because Ash Sutton has caught him. Sutton up from 9th on the grid.
Yes, mate, he has, yeah. He's now got 6 laps left to get to 1-4.
Now look, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. A proper battle pack, and Chilton on the hybrid tries the attack. Goes to the inside line, Aaron Taylor-Smith closes the door, there's contact. Chilton barging his way up the inside as Taylor-Smith tries to close the door. Here comes Sutton up the inside as well. Hyundai goes through, Ford goes through, and ATS drops back to 4th. Right there, out of paddock is Ronan Pearson. He's got less than 3 laps to go. Ronan Pearson turning his way up towards clearways. This will be the end of lap 22. 2 to run after this. All eyes are on this man, Ronan Pearson, in only his 2nd season in the championship, and he now comes up towards not only the final corner, but a first win in the British Touring Car Championship for Ronan Pearson. A tremendous drive. Pearson wins at Brands Hatch. Tom Chilton will make it a Hyundai 1-2, but right now They're all celebrating this man's first win. A great drive by Ronan Pearson. He deserved that.
Good news, fantastic.
I'm incredible. I've had tears of joy for Ronan to go, as we said, from being a development driver with us, from the JCWs to the touring cars, to now have his first win. Absolutely incredible. I can't tell you how I feel. And then Tom Chilton to get second as well. Wow.
All the worries, we got there.
Well done, good effort.
Oh, thank you.
It's just like an achievement again that we've gone this far so soon, and like I say, young talent, a young driver, we've helped him get to that win, and there'll be plenty more where that comes from.
Oh my God. Race winners.
Fancy a glass of wine to celebrate. Maybe it should be champagne.
Just gone absolutely bang on it. Oh, welcome back to it now. Get those things off, see what they're like.
On the second step of the podium, with the first podium of 2024, Tom Chilton. Here he goes. Four-ton Superdome, taking his first win in the BTCC, Ronan Pearson. A huge cheer for Ronan. Absolutely delighted the crowd are. Absolutely delighted Ronan is. And the winner's trophy goes to the way of Ronan Pearson.
That was a good way to start, wasn't it? Yeah, Ronan stood up there with his trophy for his first ever win, and I remember that feeling 20 years ago. So 2004, 20 years ago was my first win, and Ronan was 2 years old and he came to watch me, and now he's my teammate and got his first win, so I'm really happy for him.
Honestly, I've got no words. I'm lucky I've got a voice left. It's just absolute jubilation. I feel like there's a pressure off my shoulders. A weight's been lifted at the same time as just sheer joy, and to get to this point has been so hard. And I can't obviously thank everybody involved enough for it. It just feels completely surreal. You know, the way that our day started off, it just shows you, just keep the mindset, keep the mentality, and you can deliver a result like that. It just feels so special.
Naturally, when you're running 3 cars, 4 cars, you're going to have good days, bad days, all mixed into one. But ultimately, we've come away with pole position, 2 wins. There was some hard racing today, so yeah, really happy overall. We've had a great weekend, and we'll work on what went wrong and make sure that's improved for the next one. But yeah, no, really looking forward to keep moving forward in the championship.
How am I going to celebrate this? We'll have to wait until tomorrow. I've got a flight home to catch, but there will be a drink at the airport, but then I've got to drive. So yeah, we'll wait until tomorrow. But obviously it's a real shame. My stepmom and little baby brother, this is the first weekend they've not been to in such a long time. The main sponsor, Alomore, and this is what we've done. So maybe there's an omen in there.
This touring cars is a big boy game.
Give him hell, Chief.
Go well, mate.
It's very difficult to be on the limit. Really difficult to be on the limit.
What you got to do? What do you have to do?